In the entrepreneurial world today, just about everyone is either hearing about or talking about self care, strategies to lower the pressure and noise for us as individuals so that that presence, that awareness, that momentum that we buy ourselves will affect our business. Now, if the self care conversation has become overwhelming for you and you think to yourself, how do I get all of that done? I want you to know something. You can make this simple and put keystone habits in place in your life that will make everything easier. I'm going to share the most important one, I believe, with you today. I'm Alex Sharfin, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future. And instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be. I've been working with entrepreneurs for over 20 years, and one of the things that is so clear to me is that when we take care of ourselves, when we lower the pressure and noise for ourselves personally, momentum in our lives go up. We become clearer in our thinking, more definitive in our decision making. Physiologically, we feel better in our bodies. All of those things benefit our business and benefit the momentum we are creating in our lives. However, as entrepreneurs, it can be hard to stop everything and just take care of yourself. So I like to help people like us get into this in kind of a slower way and create massive momentum with very little effort. Because here's what happens to us as entrepreneurs. You know, we have these on-off personalities that can be very challenging. Like, let me give you an example. This has happened, this scenario has repeated hundreds of times in my career working with, consulting with, coaching entrepreneurs. I'll have somebody join one of our programs or, we'll start talking to someone who is doing nothing to take care of themselves. And we'll explain to them, self-care and getting in shape and doing some aerobic exercise, getting up and walking in the morning, drinking more water. It's really going to help you. And we'll talk to them a couple weeks later and they'll say, hey, you know what? I took to heart what you said. And I'm going to take care of myself better. In fact, I've decided to run a triathlon, lower my body fat, and I'm going to really make this happen. And we'll say, well, you're going to run a triathlon? How many have you done? Well, I've never done one before. Okay, well, when are you going to run one? Well, I'm going to run an Ironman in 3 months. And every time we think, it goes from this switch where there was no self-care at all, and then we try and put it all in place all at once and right away. Can you feel that? Do you resonate with that? Have you ever done that? I know I have. There was a period in my life in my 20s where in my early 20s, I was in radically good shape. I did some fitness modeling. And if you saw me at the end of my 20s, you would have never believed that anyone would have had me fitness model anything. I was in that place where I was eating healthy, I was doing the right things, and my business got overwhelming. And then it was, instead of eating healthy or, making some mistakes every once in a while, it was double cheeseburgers and just lean into the pain. And I think that's how we are as entrepreneurs. It's either all on or all off, or we try and make it that way. And so today I want to help you potentially change your entire life, but by making simple, subtle change in your life. See, I believe one of the keystone habits that keeps you and I and every other entrepreneurial personality type in momentum is hydration, is drinking water. And I believe we need to take a completely different view of drinking water as entrepreneurs, because water equals momentum for us as entrepreneurs. Water equals hydration for us as entrepreneurs. Water equals mind-body connection for us as entrepreneurs. Because here's what I want you to know. Every system in your body requires water. If you're not fully hydrated, your body is running at a lack of capacity somewhere. And here's what's really important for us to understand about water. The place in our body that uses the most water is our brain. So when we're dehydrated, that's the place that it starts exchanging last. The only mechanism for toxicity removal from the body is water. So as soon as we start becoming dehydrated, we become more toxic. So we stop circulating water to the brain. We become more toxic as human beings. This creates massive constraint in our lives, and it slows us down like crazy. So just getting hydrated can give you massive momentum as an entrepreneur. This can be the biggest game changer. And here's what I want you to know about why this is so important. Number one, when you get hydrated, you're going to feel better on a daily basis. You will actually see more. You'll have more momentum. You'll have more stamina. You will feel better just being hydrated. Secondly, when you start drinking water, it will create awareness about your entire body. The aches and pains you feel, the inflammation you feel, the stuff that you're going through will become more clear. And in a lot of cases, the aches and pains, the inflammation, a lot less pronounced. We've had some crazy results just from having team members get hydrated. A few years ago, we had a receptionist named Kim. Kim was diabetic, and she was probably about 140 pounds overweight. In an 8-month period of working with us, without changing any other habits in her life, other than becoming fully hydrated, she went from having to use several vials of insulin a month, I think she was at 3 to 3.5 per month, to having to use less than 1 vial for her diabetes a month, and she lost over 90 pounds from just starting to drink water, from adding the habit of hydration into her life. Absolutely, completely, and totally game-changing. And why this is important, number 3, if you want to be optimized, if you want to run at optimal level, you must be hydrated. Like I said, every system in the body requires water. So here's what you need to know. Number 1, stop sipping water. Drink like you mean it. We call it hyperhydration. So the first step to drinking more water, and I'm going to give you a link where you can go watch videos on this, get resources on this, and start drinking more water than you ever thought possible naturally. What I want you to do is reawaken the natural thirst instinct you have. So the first step to doing this is getting up every day and hyperhydrating, drinking over 16 ounces of water right when you get up in the morning before you do anything else. You take down the water, and here's what that does. That lets your body know, that lets your evolutionary body, your caveman body, the body that's been around for the systems that have been around for millennia, it lets those systems know that you are in an area where there are resources, and it can send a thirst signal to you all day. You take your body out of dehydration that is caused overnight by sleeping, by hyperhydrating, and you will instantly feel the momentum. Now, the second rule that you need to know to stay hydrated all day is keep water with you. So many of us don't have water with us. Here's the reality. There is 100% chance you will not drink if you don't have water. If you have water with you, you actually give yourself a shot at staying hydrated, at drinking water, at creating mind-body connection. So number 1, get up in the morning, drink 16 ounces of water or more. Number 2, keep water with you. And then here's the big one. Number 3, if you think, drink. And here's what I mean by that. If you so much as look at your water bottle, it is highly likely that is your body's signal telling you you need to take a drink. You need to hyperhydrate. You need to take on some water. See, the thirst instinct, that evolutionary thirst instinct, is very subtle. Here's why. If we go back thousands of years to a caveman walking through a field and getting thirsty, here's what we know. That caveman's going to drink water as fast as possible because evolutionarily, we would have been without water. We would have felt the pain of not drinking water. So when we had the instinct, we would drink. It's only in modern times that we have taught ourselves to suppress our thirst instinct, to shut it down, and not drink water. You probably have had the same experience I have. You get up in the morning, you're in momentum, you're excited about what's going on, you start getting stuff done, you're accomplishing, you're making things happen, you've got the world, following in your wake, things are going well, and then at 4 o'clock you look up, realize you're a little thirsty, and realize you haven't had any water all day. Whatever momentum you've been talking yourself into, it could have been way greater if you were actually hydrated. This happens to all of us because we are evolutionary hunters. When we get into that fight or flight response, here's what happens. Our thirst instinct actually turns off. If you are going into a fight or flight, if you're about to have to run away from something or get into a physical confrontation, our bodies, our nervous system actually turns off the thirst instinct, makes it so that we don't want to drink water. So when we proactively turn around and drink water anyway, what we do is we kick the body out of fight or flight. When we show the body that it's taking on water, we actually calm things down. The benefits to drinking water and being hydrated are extraordinary. And here's something I want you to think about. This is simple. This is something you can do tomorrow. And why it's so important is that this is a keystone habit. Somebody recently asked me today, what do you mean by, or not today, somebody recently asked me this week, what do you mean by keystone habit? And here's how we define a keystone habit. A keystone habit is a change that you can make in your life that you do consistently that makes everything in your life better and does not cause challenges anywhere. If you become hydrated, if you're fully hydrated, here's what will happen. It will make everything in your life better. And it's not going to cause you challenges anywhere other than, yes, you might have to go pee every once in a while more often than you do today, which, by the way, if you're sitting at a desk and you're hyperhydrating every 45 minutes to an hour and you're getting up to use the restroom every 1 hour to 90 minutes, then you're doing it exactly right, because sitting for more than an hour or 90 minutes can be incredibly damaging. So allow your system to get you up so that you go use the restroom. And this is all working out exactly like it should. And here's what I want you to know. Start this habit today and then look up 4 weeks from now and look at everything that's changed in your life. Because here's what happens. When we put a keystone habit like hydration in our lives, suddenly our awareness goes up. We see more opportunity. We feel more opportunity. When we have a keystone habit like hydration in our lives, our energy levels actually go up. We are more present. We're more aware. We're there to see more, to be able to do more. And when we are hydrated and our body feels good and we are mind-body connected, optimism goes up. We actually start seeing more opportunity, feeling more opportunity, seeing that we can do more, be more, make more happen in our lives and in the lives of the people around us. Hydration changes everything, and it's so simple. So rather than trying to go out and, install every self-care practice that there is all at once, or creating a massive schedule around all the biohacking and optimization you're going to do, or, going out and making some grand gesture, why not make this one simple? Simply get up in the morning and drink 16 ounces of water. Keep water with you all day. And if you think about it, drink. It will change the game for you, and it will change your entire life if you let it. If you want more information about exactly how to stay hydrated and you want to go through our 10-day natural thirst program, here's what I can tell you. We've had thousands of entrepreneurs go through the 10-day natural thirst program, and the results we've gotten back have been ridiculous. Not one, but many people have stopped using as much insulin as they've needed. Not one, but tons of people have lost weight, changed their eating habits, become more aware, naturally moved into more healthy situations and environments, changed the relationships around them, got into higher levels of momentum, all through the magic of drinking water. Go to getthirstynow.com. You can watch the entire 10-day natural thirst program, and do me a favor. If it means something to you, let me know on social media and share getthirstynow.com. Let your friends experience the massive momentum that comes from something as simple as being hydrated. getthirstynow.com.